Hey, what's up everybody? Broman here. Got another video for you here. This one's gonna be a little bit different than my other ones. I'm gonna be showing off some squad gameplay here, some good cooperative teamwork. Flying with me in this match is my brother, who has recently started to play some War Thunder. I'm kind of showing him the ropes, as it were. He's learning pretty quickly. He's gotten to be a lot better. Uh, Definitely improved. So hopefully you'll be able to see some good stuff out of him this match. But one thing I want to sort of point out while we're climbing here, before we get into this, is that this match kind of will demonstrate what you can do with a squad in the P-47, even if things don't start off to your advantage, right? I mean, these kind of situations might be more difficult to overcome if you're flying solo, but in a squad, if you know what you're doing, I mean, this plane can be pretty close to untouchable. And we'll see that here in a minute. Anyways, what's happening now is we're side climbing a bit. Hopefully, our plan is to get up to high enough altitude where either A, everybody has dived down and gotten into a furball beneath us, or we get to a high enough altitude where if there is still anybody up high, we can still fight them with ease. But what ends up happening here, as you can probably see, we've been intercepted. These guys have climbed straight in the direction that we're side climbing. We are not even close to a high enough altitude where I feel comfortable with being able to fight any of these guys with any kind of advantage. And on top of that, we're not even really above any of these guys. They pretty much have all of the advantages right now. They have the numbers, the altitude, the speed, the performance. Everything is looking pretty bad for us. So we turn in back towards our friendlies. We're like, we don't want to run headfirst into that. So we hightail it back to where our friendlies are. I start calling out in chat that we need some help. And we just kind of run away for the moment. Just kind of see what develops here. Right off the bat, my brother behind me there, that's him in the P-47. He calls out that some of these guys are starting to dive on him, and he doesn't quite have the speed to outrun them. He still has plenty of separation, but they're gaining on him slowly. So I decide to take action here. I brake, but I make sure that he keeps his heading, right? So the idea here is as I turn, he's going to fly past me, and either A, the enemy will stay focused on him, and then I'll be able to reverse, and then I'll be on the enemy 6 o'clock. Or the enemy will turn off of him and onto me, which will give my brother the opportunity to turn back and clear my 6, right? So it's kind of almost like, if you guys are familiar with the Thatch Weave, the historic tactic used by um, Wildcat and Hellcat pilots in the Pacific. It's that sort of thing. Not kind of, I guess, but anyways, we get another friendly who flies in, takes care of the Yak 3, and all we have is this LA-5, I think, or I-185. I can't remember. And I can't hardly see. This fucking edit software I'm using kind of sucks, but I abort my attacks on him because I see that there's still two more up high that we need to deal with. Now, this is the Yak 3 and the I-185, so we're getting up to an altitude now where finally we're starting to get some performance advantages here. The Yak 3 really loses a lot of performance once you get up above 4,500 meters altitude. Um, but we still don't have the positional advantage or the energy advantage on that Yak 3 especially. Looks like the Yak 3 has focused on my brother over there, and the I-185 has started to focus on me. So what I did there was I kind of turned off a little bit, and I forced them to split up, right? So they were both on our 6 o'clock. We were both directly in front of them. by turning off a little bit and sort of separating, it made them separate, and I am now able to reverse back onto the 6 o'clock of the Yak 3. And I have the performance advantage over the I-185 that he's still on my 6 o'clock, but he can't really follow me to do any. He's no threat to me right now. So we just went from a position where where we were both in front of these two planes, in front of the Yak 3 and the I-185, to a position where we're now sandwiched in between them. But that is a lot better than what it used to be. This Yak 3 thinks that he can pull this kind of maneuver against the P-47 at this altitude and makes a mistake there. So that's a pretty easy kill. One down. Now it's a 2v1. This is pretty easy. I noticed I go up into a climb. I noticed the I-185 sticks to my brother, so I reverse back. Getting ready to clear his 6 o'clock. He's got the speed that he's leaving this guy behind now. He's really under no threat. The I-185 dives down, realizing that he is in some serious trouble. And unfortunately for him, and for us as well, I guess, he flies a little too close to our airfield down there, and he ends up getting smacked around. And no kill for anybody, but he's out of the fight. Should happen here. There he goes. AAA MVP. So there we go. We recovered from that. We came out on top there. Started with a disadvantage. Ended up overcoming that. So that's pretty good. On to the next little bit of the match. Nice little easy PE8 here. I sped up the clip here because I actually forgot that there's another plane up here with us, and he's way up high above us. It's a premium P-47, and that's not good, because P-47s are pretty strong, and if this guy knows what he's doing, he can pretty much make short work of us, but unfortunately for him, we kind of know what we're doing here, and we're not going to make this easy for him. So anyways, he starts diving down on me, and the objective now is we've got to get this guy to throw away some energy, or one of us needs to distract him long enough so that the other one can get a positional advantage on him. And so that's what I'm trying to do now. He dived down on me. I dived down a little bit and kind of rolled around, wiggled a little bit to avoid getting hit. And basically every time this guy makes an attack on us, every time he dives down and pulls up out of that attack, he's going to be throwing away energy, right? And every time he's attacking, the other one of us is going to be gaining energy, whoever he's not attacking. So if we just keep cycling back and forth, you know, he attacks one of us, the other one gains energy, then he switches to the other one of us, or he doesn't, whatever. We just keep alternating back and forth, just staying alive. Eventually, the energy gap between us is going to diminish, and one of us will be able to get some sort of a positional advantage on him. So we just continue to stay alive, basically. He's going to reverse back on me now, and I'm going to drag him down a little bit. Gonna roll. He's really trying to get me here, but you just roll a little bit, cut your throttle. He starts to get ready to overshoot, so he overshoots there, and I raise my nose up, and I get pretty dirty here. Normally, this is something that I really hate it when people do that to me, but it happens to me enough that I don't really feel bad about it. I go on ahead and get a nice little 0.8, 0.9 kilometer snipe on that guy, and yeah, it's something I hate when it happens to me, but I'm gonna do it until they fix it. So he's out of the match. There we go. So we just recovered from two scenarios where we were at an altitude energy disadvantage, and we ended up coming out on top. Now, one thing, I've started to fly a lot here recently with 30 minutes of fuel as opposed to 45 minutes of fuel or an hour of fuel. And that's starting to take its toll on me. I'm down to 10 minutes of fuel, and there's still like 3 or 4 guys left. And I decide I'm going to go in for a landing here, refuel, and get back up in the air. And it's important to note that while I'm landing, my brother is still up in the air. And there's good reason for that, because as I try to land, here comes Mr. LA5 Vulture. Tries to pick me off on the runway, but he doesn't get there quite quick enough. I'm not worried though. I've got my brother up high helping me here. I can avoid him here in this merge, but he climbs up, and I think, ooh, I might be able to get a pretty nice kill here. Unfortunately, my prop hang is not strong enough, and I just don't have the speed or the control over my plane to get my guns on target, but I have successfully managed to get him to throw away all of that energy that he had on his initial approach, right? He did all those maneuvers to avoid me, so I'm able to level out here, and basically I'm fast enough now that I can escape him, and he's slow enough now that I can escape him, which is good, because in a 2v1, all I have to do is run away and drag this guy for my my brother flying up above me there. He'll be able to dive down and clear my 6 here. Either this guy will continue to chase me and he'll get shot down, or he'll break off, which will give me the opportunity to reverse back and start shooting at him. So this guy's kind of in a lose-lose situation here. Doesn't matter what he does, he's pretty much screwed. So I see my brother moving in. I go for a climb. Hopefully this guy's going to chase me. If he does, it's going to lower his speed, and it'll allow my brother an easy shot. And on top of that, if he doesn't, like what he does here, he breaks off me. Now I'm in a position where I can quickly roll over, and I'm in position to attack him because I was climbing there. But fortunately, my brother's able to take him out. Nice easy kill for him. But we're not out of the woods yet. There's a Yak 3 and soon to be a P63 flying in. This Yak 3 is very fast. He doesn't have the altitude on me, but he's very, very fast right now. Yak 3s are very fast on the deck, so he's gonna try to climb up to me here. I just kind of wiggle a little bit. He levels out of his climb though and gets onto my 6 o'clock, and I just barely have enough speed here that I'm able to kind of get some separation, but I'm really skirting on the edge of the danger zone. A little Archer reference there. These guys are just close enough that if they're good enough with their shots, they can really do some damage to me. But I'm far enough out that I can maneuver a little bit. I've got the speed and the separation. I can turn a little bit to get these guys flying in a way that my brother can move in here and get onto their 6 o'clock to help me out here, right? I don't want to just fly away from my brother because that's no good. He's not going to be able to catch us. I got to turn a little bit so that these guys are going to be in position for him to attack. But I don't want to fly directly straight back head on with him, because then that puts him in a head-on situation with these guys. So I tend to fly, when I do this, 90 degrees there, like you saw. Fly 90 degrees of the heading that my squad mate is flying, and that gives them a good position to attack these guys on from. So here I get a couple of head-ons here. I turn back into this Yak 3. I'm not trying to out-turn him though. You notice I straighten out there just enough that he can't hit me in that head-on. Now then, I've got this P63 on me. My brother reverses back, clears the P63. Now he's in trouble. I break the opposite direction of him, which forces that Yak 3 to make a decision. Either he goes for me or he goes for my brother. If he goes for my brother, now I'm able to reverse back like is happening here. And yeah, my brother does an excellent job here of staying alive. This is, I mean, by all accounts, he should have died here. He's in no position to survive against this Yak 3, but his wiggle is strong enough and the accuracy of the enemy player is low enough, and he sees me coming in to attack him. He takes the risk here, goes straight up into a climb. This is the last guy left, so he figures If he dies in this, at least he sets me up for an easy kill, and he does. And to boot, he manages to survive it. So yeah, good flying there, bro. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this showed you a little bit what the P-47 can do when you use some good squad play. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one.